What's up, guys? Top Tier Yu-Gi-Oh here, and today we have Manno, who just got top 16 at the ARG in Atlantic City. How do you think he did this weekend?
I think I did okay. I finished X2 after day one, like just squeezing in the top. So like, I felt pretty good then, but yeah, like every round just went smoothly, except for when I lost, I just got scraped. But yeah, like everything went pretty smoothly, and then top cut, like I just unfortunately lost. My opponent like drew some like kind of funky hands, but like they just ended up working out. Like one, for an example, was like 3 anti-spell, and it just happened to get there.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Well, it's good that you had a good weekend. You played True Draco, right?
Yes, I did.
All right, so let's see what you played.
All right, so I played one blue boy, and the reason I did that was because I really didn't like drawing this card like after Demise, or like, you know, like when you already do the blue boy knowledge combo, and like you draw like into another one, like it's just awful. So like I've really just wanted to like do the knowledge play like once and then just like have it be done. I did 1 Ignis because it's at 1. 3 Maiden. This kind of replaced your Dynamite, like you have to play 3. And this card's also just like nuts with Demise. And then 2 Masterpiece. I think this is pretty standard now, but the reason you play 2 is like Pot Desires. You don't want to banish 1 and then like not have it. And then like you don't want to play 3 because it's bricky. Stormforth, this is one of your outs to Beals. And it's also just like generally a good card. Because
How many times did you resolve it?
I resolved it about 4 or 5 times throughout the entire tournament. And it like straight up won me like 3 out of 4 of those times, like when I did it, because it was just like random Masterpiece.
Dude, that's awesome.
Yeah. But like the one game, like it was like a little more grindy than just like, oh, I absolutely lose. I still ended up winning that game because, like, you know, like tributing over a Monster Trap Masterpiece is insane. So like this card was just like really good this weekend. 3 Demise, this is like kind of the core of the deck, so I'm not gonna explain that. 3 Duality, a lot of people like 2 of this for whatever reason. I think this card is really good because I feel like this is the closest we'll ever get to adding a card from your deck to your hand. Like just like add 1 card from your deck to your hand. Like that's nuts. So like when you're digging through your deck and like you see this card, it's like you dig and like you like keep the things you want and like get rid of the things you don't, and then like, you activate this and it's like you add like the last piece or last 2 pieces that you want. So like this card was great. 1 Desires, I got a lot of shit for this. People were like, why aren't you playing 2? Like this card's insane. I was like, yeah, I know it's insane, but like in this deck, like unlike Pendulum, you're not playing like 3 of everything. So like I kind of feared banishing Masterpiece, like the 2 Masterpiece, or like the 1 Return, or like the 1 Ignis, or like the Spellbook Engine. It was just like a lot I feared banishing. So like I kind of like use this card as like a last resort card where it's like if I needed to resolve this card, then I'd do so. But like if not, like, you know, it's just like another card. It's like it sits there until like you need it. So this card was pretty good. Like I just kept digging, and like, you know, like it would always find its way to my hand. So 1 was fine for me. It's always like player preference though. Then I did 2 Secrets and 1 Knowledge, which is basically what you do with the 1 Blue Boy. It's either like 2 of all or 1/1/2. And I did the 1/1/2 because like drawing this card alone is awful. Like drawing that this card in like certain scenarios is like awful. And then like this is like the only one where it's like if you draw it or like you draw multiples, it's fine. So like I just thought this was perfect. I did this card like I did this combo like countless times through the tournament, and it was just wonderful. Whenever I did it, like, you know, like just got me into more pieces, and it was just, like I said, wonderful. Then I did 3 Diagram, 3 Terraforming, 3 Heritage, and 3 Disciples. I felt like this was all pretty standard, so I'm not going to go over that. And then 2 Cyclone and 2 Chalice, which
Chalice, wow.
Yeah. A lot of people did not play this card, and it kind of like amazed me because like Zaphion was floating around everywhere, like Beal, like this is now to Beals.
Oh, that's
and,
true, yeah.
Yeah. And like also like when your opponent Pendulum summons and like you happen to have this card, it's like Harmonizing becomes like a little less like powerful, and you can just do random things with this card. Like I had this set and I was like playing the mirror and they went Blue Boy and I chaliced it and they just lost. Like it's very good in like a random sense, but like it's like such a powerful card in my opinion, and I liked it a lot. And then going into Cyclone, I feel like everything's just playing like a card that's like where if you blow this away, like it's just game.
Oh, absolutely. So, Cyclone's a staple in this format.
Yeah, it's so strong. People ask me about like Twin Twister because of like the blowout and like the heritage thing where it's like if you hit a spell on a trap, like that's immediate like draw 2. I didn't really like that because I like kind of realized like every card in my deck is a resource, and like discarding, like a monster, like a spell that you need, like could just be like the difference between games. And like Twin Twister is very gimmicky because you just like you're not guaranteed to hit anything like great if you're hitting sets, and it's like sure you can hit something face up that's like good, but like it might like come back and hurt you like the traps and spells. So like I was just like on the fence about that card, but I ended up making the right decision. And then I did for the traps 3 Disciples, 1 return. I wish this card was at like 2 or something. I miss this card so much. But other than that, like just like being able to search these and like just like draw them, like it was like fine. And then the card that like won me like probably the most game/matches this event was 2 Chaos Trap Hole in the main. I was on my way up here from Philadelphia, and me and my friends were just like joking around, like like naming cards, and this card ended up just like being named. I was like, huh, that's like actually really good, because when you think about it, like it hits something in everyone's deck, like Masterpiece, like ABC Buster, or like like a Pendulum Summon off of a Pendulum deck, and I just thought it was really good. So like this ended up winning me a lot of games. Like I banished like 2 to 3, sometimes 4, off of a Pendulum Summon like frequently, and like that's what really just like won me the Pendulum matchups.
That's insane. They're never gonna read that either.
Yeah, because like it's not like they're going to randomly go after your back row because they're like
assuming they're True Draco traps.
Exactly, and for that reason, like this card will always be unread, and that's why I like this card a lot. And then the last 2 cards were Floodgates because these are like also like they're stun cards, but they're also like resources for your monsters, or not resources, fodder for your monsters. So you can kind of just like plague or stun the board when you need to, and then you just get rid of them when you don't need them. And I really like them for that reason, because they're just like really strong cards. This says no monster effects, this says no spell effects, and like I think that's just insane. Those are like the 2 most powerful type of cards like right now.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Did they ever break for you?
Skill Drain was somewhat bricky, like against the True Draco mirror, but like it would always come out like when I sided. So like game 1s, like yeah, but game 2 and 3 no.
Okay. Did you play an extra deck or just?
I did not. So funny story about that. I was siding Monarch's Eruption before I got here, and I heard about the Chaos Trap Hole, and I kind of just moved cards from my main to the side, and Monarch's Eruption didn't make the cut, and I kind of just didn't feel like picking up like random rank 5s and 6s. I wasn't siding Reaper, so like I just didn't find a point in doing that. So like I just played no extra deck. Like I didn't miss anything. It didn't really come up. So going into the side deck, I did 3 Ash Blossom and 1 Maxi. Besides Droll and Lockbird, I think these are like the only hand traps you'll ever need. In this deck, it's kind of controversial with Demise, where you just like if you draw these off of Demise, it's horrible. But like when you see them going second and your opponent's going first game 2, like these absolutely just destroy your opponent, and it makes your opponent's hand like so much weaker, to the point where like it's like if you do a True Draco play, like it puts them so far behind.
Yeah.
2 Zaphion. This card for the past 2 weeks has just been like the MVP in everyone's side deck. It was absolutely insane. This card actually just got me out of the tournament too. So I have like a love-hate relationship with this card right now.
It's great when you have it.
Yeah, it's great when you have it. It's not great when it happens to you.
Yeah.
So I guess I'll explain this later when I get to another card, but I'll explain how I lost to this card. And I considered making Maxi like a 3rd one of these, so that's just something to note. Then I sided these. I didn't test very much for this event, and I kind of like figured like, oh, like if I can board rep my opponent and make a masterpiece, that sounds very good. But it's actually like the format actually just doesn't go that way, because it's like there's Beals, you know, there's Dweller, it's like activate in standby phase, Omega, Buster, tag out like in standby phase. I don't know why you would do that, but like it's possible. It's just like there's a lot of scenarios where like this card isn't good. So like I thought it was very good. As the tournament went on, I found them very cute opposed to broken. But it did win me one game, so I'm kind of glad I sided them. For the side deck, or for the traps, I'm sorry, 2 magical deflectors. This was for the True Draco mirror, because whenever you resolve this card against True Draco in the mirror, like when they flip a Cyclone, it guarantees that your trap cards will go off, and I think that's extremely important because Cyclone is a big component in the mirror match, and being able to, 1, stop a Cyclone, and then later, 2, stop like a Heritage or Disciples is just insane to me.
Oh, totally. Especially Heritage and Disciples. Those are the core of the deck.
Yeah. So it's like, you get rid of their Cyclone, which is 1 card out of their hand, and then they're reduced to like 1 normal summon, because they don't get the additional tributes.
But then you still have your trap, so you can still tribute summon.
Yeah, it's insane. I love this card. It actually won me a match. And then I played 2 anti-spell. In theory, this card is amazing. You know, it just blows out the pendulum mirror. However, like I didn't draw this card at all.
That's surprising.
Yeah, it was very unfortunate. Like, in theory, this card is great. Not for me, but I would still highly suggest playing this card in the side deck, because it like absolutely blows out the pendulum matchup. And then I played 2 D barrier. You may notice I'm like playing a lot of 2 like 2-ofs for like lingering trap effects. And the reason I did that was because like there's really 3 major decks going around right now, which is A, Pendulum, 2, True Draco, and then 3, Buster deck, which is also like this card also hits Pendulum. So I kind of like this card too because it's like it hits Pendulum, it hits ABCs. So when you go against Pendulum, this is really good because you're playing like 42 cards and it's like a little less than 10% of the time that you'll see these, increasing when you like search with Duality, Demise, and whatever. So I tried to play like a lot of trap cards that just told my opponent they couldn't play, and I felt like this was just like really good. And then the last trap card I played is going back to the main deck. It was 1 Chaos Trap Hole with the 3 or the 2 in the side in the main deck.
If you take first through 8th,
this card like just being able to like put this card in your deck going second, or I mean going first. I'm sorry. Against the Pendulum matchup is just insane. Because like you can just take away their pendulum summon, and that's not fair because you just sit on a masterpiece, and it's just nuts. And I also forgot to mention about this. I'll go back a little bit. The reason I lost with Saphion was because I had this and a Maiden, and then my opponent summoned Saphion on me, and that was just the match.
There's nothing you can do about that sometimes.
Yeah, I mean like that's the reason like I sided Chalice, like I mentioned earlier. Because I just...
And skill drain too.
Yeah, skill drain too. Like even Stormforth, like although Stormforth isn't as great, it's just an out because like you can't have this card resolve. Otherwise, it's just really devastating. But yeah, that was the profile.
Awesome. Do you have any shout outs?
Yeah, I actually do have a list.
Oh, nice. You came prepared.
Yeah. I was driving home last night. I was like, I need to do a shout out list. So... let's see. I'm first gonna shout out my team, Wolfpack, and
Wolf?
Yeah, Wolf, Wolfpack, and the owner / creator of the team, Jared Randolph. He's a great guy. You know, he always helps me at locals, and like you know, like I kind of like give him credit for like this top. Shout out to everyone on the 90. You know who you are. You guys are great. You guys are hilarious. Shout out to my friend Tommy Williams. Like through the like later rounds in Swiss when I was doing very well, he just like he kind of like coached me through it. He was like, yeah, you can do it. Like you know, like your tiebreakers are just like doing amazing. And actually, both of my losses in the Swiss ended up in the finals.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Blake Funderburg and what's the other guy's name?
Gleason, Steven.
Yeah, Steven. So like, shout out to them. Like, they did amazing, but they just got me out of there. And then going on with the shout outs, shout out to Shu Ping. He let me stay at his house last night when I had nowhere to stay. And he kind of helped me build this deck before I realized I wanted to play it, because he was just doing shenanigans with Demise, and I was just like, I have to play this deck. I just didn't like Pendulum as much, and I just felt like this was the way to go for me. Shout out to my two friends, Jamie Lee and Dylan. I rode up here with them. Unfortunately, I did not ride back with them, but they were the ones who suggested Cosmic Cyclone, or not Cosmic Cyclone, Chaos Trap Hole, and I also give them credit for my top. And then the final shout out is to my locals. Shout out to Alternate Universe Bluebell. They're like the greatest local in Philadelphia, and check them out on their online website. They have like a bunch of great cards.
Awesome, thanks, man.
Thanks.
Remember that time, those cerulean tides, sapphire, sapphire.